of Game Warriors Gaming for a Cause, and this is Unscripted. Today's episode of Unscripted, we're going to be talking about the ministry of Game Warriors. So, I've touched on this kind of in the past as far as what Game Warriors does and everything else, and that we are a Christian-based organization. But there's one thing that I've kind of stayed away from over the past decade, or almost decade rather, and that is the fact that Game Warriors is a ministry. Uh, I've actually had debates with people who, referred to us as a ministry, and they were friends and everything else. And the reason why I stayed away from that is essentially the fact that the preconceptions of what a ministry is. And, that's both on non-Christians and Christians alike have this idea that a ministry, you must pray for people, you must, witness to them, get them saved, give them the sermon and this, that, and the other. And, for the non-Christians, they are coming to a charity event. They may not necessarily want to hear that, and that may steer them away from it. And then on the other hand, you have these religious people who feel that video games and stuff like that are evil, or that they they're not godly, they're so on and so forth, and that if this is what you're doing, then that you can't consider this a ministry. And I wanted to stay away from that stigma. But the truth is that I was also had those preconceptions myself of what constituted as a ministry. And the fact is, I knew in my heart that this was a ministry, and I knew that this was a calling that God had placed on my life to do this. Because if it was a Charles thing, Charles would be sitting in front of his TV playing video games for fun with his friends and his family, or sitting at this table playing D&D with his friends and family and having a good time, not in front of a camera or in front of a larger audience talking to people, because those things make me uncomfortable. And I'm not an eloquent speaker. I say and all that type of stuff a lot, because public speaking in any form, goes against my nature. And, but for this organization to weigh so heavily on my heart, I know it's a God thing, and I'm doing good things through this organization. And see, I had a debate with a friend at one point, and they kind of reminded me that the fact that I'm showing God's love by the things that I'm doing. I don't have to speak about it. I'm showing it. My actions are speaking it. My actions are showing God's love. And, and I have, we developed Frag Night, which is where we're more open about our faith. It is a gamer Bible study. So if someone comes to a Game Warrior tournament, unless we're raising money for a youth group or a church organization, it's not, a religion's not brought up. Now if someone comes to us and it starts talking about how Game Warriors got started, and this, that, and the other, yes, it gets brought up. But as a whole, our Game Warrior tournaments, we want to try to make it as welcoming to everyone as possible, and not to off-put anybody or anything like that. And even for our frag night, everybody's welcome. It doesn't matter what walk of life, what religion, or anything like that. If it's a Game Warriors event, you're welcome. You're invited. You will be loved. You will not be condemned. You will not, there will be no judgment or anything of that nature. You know, our our job is to make a difference. We want to leave this world a better place than what we found it. We want to uh, do good by others. And one of the things that has been on me here recently is the fact that uh, when Jesus walked the earth, he went to the ones that the church deemed unworthy, that society deemed unworthy, you know, and with us, one of the things that we wanted to do was to change the perception of gamers, because for so long gamers were considered lazy, living in their mom's basement, not contributing to society and this, that, and the other. And we knew that that was not the case. As a gamer who was, at the time, managing a store for a convenience store chain, and then later on managing GameStop, and you know I was successful in those businesses. I contributed to my area. Even before Game Warriors came about, I gave to different charities and different organizations. You know, but I always heard these people that, oh, you're a gamer, and yes, those people do still exist. But we're seeing a change in that where more people are gaming, gamers are uh, uh, more in the spotlight as in a positive light. Now there's still these little internet trolls that want to sit there and blame video games for this and blame video games for that. And there's still the misconception in religious groups of how evil video games and stuff like that are. Um, but the fact is, you know, like I stated, it doesn't matter what walk of life you are from. You'll be treated with respect and love, and you will know that you know you're there to do something good. Which brings me back to my topic of considering Game Warriors as a ministry. Um, the last week or so, I was supposed to do this last week, and we were having some technical difficulties, but this weighed on me, and it wouldn't go away, because the way I do Unscripted is I have a topic in my head and I kind of think of it a few days and don't really try not to write out a script, which is why it's called Unscripted. But I try to think on the topic and form my opinions uh, into the best type of speech that I can. And you know, so I wanted to actually look up the word ministry, and it kind of caught me off guard, because obviously you got your what we talked about. Most people consider ministry, but there's one other meaning to it, and that's I went to the Webster Dictionary website, and I want to talk about number four. The number four meaning for it is a person or thing through which something is accomplished. Um, so, backtracking a few years back, um, I kind of felt like we were in a rut, and like Game Wars really wasn't moving forward, and um, and I was questioning, whether or not we were actually doing any good. And I began to pray about it and everything, and and I was questioning why certain things were happening in the world and to people and everything else, and uh, why God wasn't doing something. And um, I stumbled across a song one morning when I had my phone on shuffle play, and uh, it's called "Do Something." And inside that song, um, the guy, the, the artist is questioning God, why don't you do something? And the answer was that he received was, I did. I created you. Um, and and that stuck with me, and it reaffirmed that I was on the right path, and then just got to stick with it. We were called to do something. Um, and then about a year or two later, we, me and my wife, changed churches, and we get to the church, the new church, and uh, the the pastor's slogan was "Do something," and that spoke to me. And here we are, years later, and Game Warriors is still doing something. Like I said, no, we're not your run of mill ministry. We're not going to sit there and try and convert you or any of that nature. You know, we want to show people that they are loved. We want to make a difference in this world. Um, Now, by all means, uh, you know, if someone wanted to speak to us about it, we're not ashamed of our faith or anything of that nature. Um, and if you're a Christian uh, and you question the games that we play, or you want to condemn us because we play video games and stuff of that nature, um, I just like to remind you that it's a means to reach people uh, that society has deemed unworthy or lower than the rest of society, and that's not the case. Gamers are productive members of society. They're your doctors, your teachers. Um, I, when I worked for GameStop, I've seen people from all walks of life um, that came in. They play games with their family and friends. They play games with friends and family that live thousands of miles away. And now we have what we do that raises money and awareness for organizations like St. Jude, Make a Wish, um, Operation Supply Drop, and then local stuff. You know, uh, we have the Star Awards. There are so many things that are positive about gaming. Yes, there is a lot of negative, but there's a lot of negative about everything in this world. Um, it just depends on how you look at it, and what you do with it. Um, so this was a little longer than I expected it to be, um, but uh, like I said, you know, we are a, we are an organization which are trying to accomplish something, and that's to make the world a better place, to show people that they are loved, um, and to show people that gamers can make a difference. So we are a ministry in every sense of the word. Um, so, all that being said, guys, that's all I have. I hope you have a great day. And until next time, this is Charles Almighty Ray saying, stay awesome and God bless you. Hey guys, this is Charles Almighty Wraith, and
Wrestler 58.
We hope y'all enjoyed our video and everything. Be sure to check us out on all of our other social media networks, such as YouTube,
Facebook,
Twitch,
Twitter,
Instagram,
and Patreon.
And also be sure to like and share the videos. And all right, until next time, this is Almighty Wraith and
Wrestler 58
saying stay awesome.